Hi everyone, it's Nicole here today with a Rainbow Wishes scene card featuring honeybee stamps, dies, and stencils, and a whole lot of cardstock. This really fun, clean and simple design is super easy to create. Rainbows are always a super popular design element, and I love that the rainbow dies from the Rainbow Wishes set are individual, so you can die cut each individual ray from whatever color cardstock that you want to build this rainbow and not have a whole bunch of extra or excess rainbow arches there. Let's start by building our background first. I've got some really light gray Lawn Fawn fog cardstock here that I'm going to ink up with a little Lawn Fawn Manatee ink and a life-changing blender brush. I'm purposely using a smaller size brush here. I really want that ink just to go along the edge. And we are going to cover probably about 3/4 of this panel. I did turn it on its side. I find it a little easier to control. I'm using 3 sides of this Outdoor Scene Builder stencil from Honeybee Stamps, as I am not using the side with the smaller cloud. I'm using the 3 other sides, and I'm just going to keep rotating it and filling in all this space. I love the fog cardstock, as I think it's something a little bit different than maybe a white cardstock inked with blue clouds or something like that. The light gray of this is super pretty, and it's going to work really nicely with the more pastel colors of rainbow arches. I did do my die cutting off camera to save a little bit of time. All of the design elements that I am using are from the Rainbow Wishes die collection, and the sentiment is from the Rainbow Wishes stamp set. I love to mix and match and combine from different sets, but I also love when I'm able to just maybe pull out a single set and a few additional supplies and build a card really quickly and easily. And that's what I've done here today. This card literally came together in just a few minutes. Once I have all the inking done on my background, I'm going to take my mini Misty and place my background in here and line up my sentiments from the Rainbow Wishes stamp set. I'm using the phrase "Sending You" and also the phrase "Hugs, Kisses, and Rainbow Wishes" from the stamp set. I'm going to line them up and stamp them all with one press of my Misty with some Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink. I'm going to stamp it twice with the embossing ink to make sure that I get plenty of ink on this bold sentiment. And I'm also using a powder tool on the background first to help keep the sentiment right on the stamped phrase and not migrate anywhere else. I'm going to take some Simon Says Stamp white embossing powder and sprinkle this on my sentiment before heating it with a heat tool. Now, I did try to heat my heat tool quite a bit before bringing it to my paper. In fact, I'm holding it right now off to the side, getting it warmed up. My paper did warp just a little bit, and even after hitting the back of the cardstock, I didn't think it laid quite as flat as I wanted it to. With all this die cuts that I need to adhere to it, it just had a funny little ripple in it. So what I did was take a regular piece of printer paper, fold it in half, tuck this panel in between in the folded printer paper, not cardstock, and I ran it through my die cutting machine to kind of help flatten it out, and that worked really well. Just make sure that the embossing powder is completely cool before you do that. Then I'm taking the small sun rays die from the Rainbow Wishes die collection and die cutting that in the upper left corner of my scene. I did die cut one of the circles from the Rainbow Wishes set from some really light yellow cardstock. This is the Lawn Fawn Sticky Note cardstock, and I'm going to glue the center of my sun in place, and it's going to be peeking out from behind my rainbow. Then I've got 6 rainbow rays that I'm going to add to my card, plus some clouds. We're going to use a combination of the outline and the clouds for this design. I'm going to see what I need to adhere before I start assembling the rainbow. We're going to start with one of the outline pieces that's going to hang off the edge back behind the rainbow along the right side of the card. Then I'm going to adhere the arches one by one, starting with this light pink. This light pink is my very favorite light pink cardstock color. This is the Hues Peony Pink cardstock. The next color of cardstock we are using is Fawn GUAVA cardstock. Definitely went with a more pastel look with my rainbow today. I think it works really nice with that light fog gray background. The next ray is die cut from Fawn APRICOT. I love the APRICOT cardstock. It really fills in a void that I had in my personal cardstock collection with a light orange color, and I really like that. Then we're going to have a ray of the Fawn sticky note cardstock, same as the center of the sun, Fawn cilantro cardstock, and finally Fawn mermaid cardstock. I'm drawing on little lines of glue with the Fawn glue tube and adhering my rainbow. Now I'm going to position my clouds around the design. We're going to go ahead and stagger a couple of these over on the left side of the card. I'm going to glue the big one directly to the background and adhere the smaller one with foam adhesive for a bit of dimension. Then we're going to adhere an outline directly to the cloud, or directly to the card, pardon me, and the remaining cloud we will adhere with foam adhesive. I simply played around with different configurations of these pieces. And that looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to that remaining outline here, or that other outline. And then we'll place that final cloud in place. The final thing we're going to do before adding the remaining embellishment to our design is take the teeny tiny hearts from the Rainbow Wishes die collection and die cut them from all of these same colors of cardstock that we used for the rainbow. So we've got the Hues Peony Pink, Fawn GUAVA, Fawn APRICOT, Fawn Sticky Note, Hues KIWI. I think I misspoke earlier and said that was a different color. It's actually the Hues KIWI, and Fawn Mermaid. And it's going to give us all these fantastic little heart accents. I'm going to take a crystal katana, because they are all teeny tiny, and use little dabs of my Fawn glue tube to add little dots of glue around my card, and then pick up all of the little heart pieces and put them exactly where I want them to go. This is going to add a scattering of color throughout the card, as well as a really fun little scattering of love. I will have a few additional hearts left over that I can save for another project. I don't want to forget to add some little hearts up high, some kind of scattered. They kind of go from the left top corner to the right side and then back down to the bottom left corner. There are also raindrops in this Rainbow Wishes die collection if you would rather do little small raindrops. I think these would be fun die cut from the background and just layering a piece of contrasting cardstock back behind if you wanted to. Lots of great ways to use these cute little mini hearts. I'm always a sucker for little teeny tiny embellishments, and these little hearts are one of my very favorites. I could see using these with lots of different cards and different die collections in many different ways. They're a great size and even could be used to die cut a bunch of them to use as confetti in a shaker. Once I have all of my hearts where I want them to go, I am going to finish with a simple layer of Nuvo crystal drops in White Blizzard on the part of the sun that peeks out from behind the rainbow and also on the hearts. It's going to dry clear but have that really fun iridescent sparkle to it. You could also use glossy accents if you wanted to, or another product like that. We'll adhere this background to a white top fold card base, and it completely covers the card base from side to side and top to bottom. This background measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches and is standard A2 sized. I'm going to carefully draw that Nuvo crystal drops on the part of the sun that peeks out, and then carefully dab it on each of those hearts. And it will dry really quickly because we're just painting on a super thin layer. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this Rainbow Wishes scene card created with honeybee stamps, dies, and stencils. The supplies I used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel to never miss a card making or paper crafting video. Here are a couple more videos featuring honeybee stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.